A Norfolk mother and daughter are facing charges after allegedly aborting a fetus and trying to bury it. 3 News Now reporter Molly Hudson is live in the newsroom with the details for us tonight. Molly.
An ADOS dude, there was an ADOS dude named Bill something, Bill the Icon.
Bring up all the dirty laundry.
A Nebraska woman has been charged with helping her teenage daughter end her pregnancy at about 24 weeks after investigators uncovered Facebook messages in which the two discussed using medication to induce an abortion and plans to burn the fetus afterward. The prosecutor handling the case said it's the first time he has charged anyone for illegally performing an abortion after 20 weeks, a restriction that was passed in 2010. That was something I did not know. And this was before the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade in June. But states were not allowed to enforce abortion bans until the point at which a fetus is considered viable outside the womb at roughly 24 weeks. This case has lots of twists and turns, privacy issues, abortion rights, women's rights issues. Get into this clip really quickly and I'll come back on the other side with my reaction and thoughts.
Mark, Jessica Burgess is Celeste Burgess's mother and allegedly helped her daughter perform an abortion at nearly 6 months pregnant with a due date of July 3rd, according to a search warrant affidavit. According to this document, on April 22nd, 17-year-old Celeste supposedly gave birth to a stillborn baby in the shower at some time after midnight. The Norfolk police received a tip that she had miscarried and buried the baby with the help of her mother, Jessica, sparking this investigation. According to the document, Celeste told police she tried to call her mother to wake her up when it happened. She eventually went downstairs to tell her. Celeste then placed the fetus in a bag and then into a box in the back of a cargo van. The affidavit says the mother and daughter drove the fetus to a property north of Norfolk and buried it, but it does not say when this happened. They allegedly got help from 22-year-old Tanner Barnhill. This property belonged to his parents in Madison County. On April 29th, Jessica and Celeste showed a Norfolk detective where they buried the fetus. Tanner also arrived on scene and confirmed the location. He also told officers that Celeste and Jessica attempted to burn the fetus before burying it. That same day, Madison County Sheriff's officers helped at the scene, and the document says the fetus appeared to have thermal injuries. The investigation continued. During those weeks of investigation, the detective discovered Facebook messages between the two about abortion pills on April 20th, just 2 days before the stillbirth occurred. According to court documents, messages between Celeste and Jessica discussed how to use the abortion pills, and Celeste stated she couldn't wait to get the thing out of her body. Jessica and Celeste now face charges of concealing the death of another person, false information, and a felony charge for human skeletal remains. Jessica has 2 additional felony charges: performing or attempting an abortion at more than 20 weeks and performing an abortion as a non-licensed doctor, charges that were added on later by the Madison County attorney. Both the mother and daughter have pleaded not guilty and are awaiting trial. In the newsroom, Molly Hudson, 3 News Now.
And if you want to support the channel, smash like, subscribe, purchase a membership, or you can send me a super thanks if you like this video. And when I first came across this story here, I was going to do it, and I started preparing the story. Then I was like, nah, I don't know if I want to put that out. I didn't know how YouTube might react to the content. They're very, very picky, very, very choosy. So I kind of scrapped the idea and then went back and watched some more footage, did a little more research. I'm trying to see if I could find the identity of the young lady. And again, the news reports their names as Burgess. They specifically named the mother, Jessica Burgess. And they really don't name the daughter a lot in the news articles, but I did obtain a photograph of the Facebook message thread, and it had the mother and daughter's last name to be Kerr, Jessica and Celeste Kerr, Kerr. And it seemed to me, I don't know, as if the media was trying to conceal their identities as best they could, even though it's probably an open records case. Anyone could file a Open Records Request Act, FOIA, and obtain, all of the public documents. But, the news is just trying to slickly, in my estimation, just throw a curveball in there in case anybody had an inquiring mind. So due to the messages having their last name as Kerr, and although I was able to locate Jessica Burgess in a Google search, not Celeste Burgess, a Google search for Celeste Kerr, it gave me her Facebook page, in which I was able to obtain a photo. And she is 18 now. She is being tried as an adult, so I have no issues with publishing that photo. And I also was able to find Tanner Barnhill's Facebook and some photos as well. And he's well into his 20s. That's the man who assisted them in burying the body. Buried the body on property owned by his parents. And he did cooperate with police, and he is being charged as well. And another thing, the news makes it seem as if law enforcement cracked this case by themselves. But what they left out was the fact that they were tipped off by one of Celeste's schoolmates, a young lady that Celeste Kerr goes to school with. Celeste apparently took the pills that induced the abortion while she was with her friend. Her friend in turn alerted the Madison County Attorney's Office and apprised them of the situation. And I'm thinking the girl probably went home, told her parents, and the parents probably took the lead, but that information wasn't disclosed. That's just me speculating. And the girl must have known about the Facebook communications between Celeste and her mom, because they did note that she advised the authorities that the family owned several computers, which prompted law enforcement to obtain warrants, for their electronic devices, computers, and such. So they had help. Most of these cases, there is always that one human element, the person who informs, the person who drops a dime, the person who snitches or rats or whatever you want to label that type of situation. So yeah, they had help. And, most of the news stories that you'll see, they talk about the privacy concerns that many are voicing about this issue due to the fact that Facebook gave law enforcement access to the messages. Facebook did advise the public that the warrant didn't mention abortion. However, in my estimation, due to the fact that law enforcement was alerted to the possibility of a crime prior to seeking access, I can't really see an issue here. This is pretty much standard procedure in criminal investigations. If somebody informs on a person and says that, they have committed a crime and they know that there's possibly evidence on their cell phone, on their computer, whatever the case may be, then law enforcement would naturally seek warrants to search their computers, to search their homes, and the like. So, I really don't see any privacy concerns here, but we'll see. And last but not least, of course, abortion rights issues will arise due to this case. Abortion rights activists will no doubt use this case to protest the overturning of Roe versus Wade. However, this case happened, number one, prior to the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Happened early this year, I believe, January. I could be wrong, but I don't have the information right here. But again, prior to the overturning of Roe versus Wade, and it involved the breaking of a 2010 law which bans abortion on a viable fetus. Again, this is not something that I knew. I really don't keep up with these issues. As of late, I have been more attuned to the issue since I follow Angela Stanton King, and this is something that she's very passionate about, and that she's on the front lines fighting against, these over-proliferation of abortions, particularly in the black community. So shout out to Angela Stanton King. Keep doing your thing, and we support you here at Dirty Laundry Media. So my estimation, Roe is not at play here. Not only did they perform an illegal abortion, the 24-week mark, they then burned the fetus and buried it in the shallow grave. So this is almost like premeditated murder, if you want to take it that far. They planned the abortion. Mom obtained the medication in which to execute the abortion. No doubt they had pre-planned the steps they would take once the young lady passed the stillborn fetus. They conspired with Tanner Barnhill to bury the body on his family's property after they had desecrated the dead body or fetus by burning it. So this one here is just nasty to me. It's just nasty all the way around. The fact that they would take these drastic measures, in this case, to end the life of a 6-month-old fetus. And she basically had to give birth to it still. Although it was stillborn, she still had to pass that fetus out. So, not only is she going to suffer the criminal consequences, I'm sure they're going to be psychological consequences as well. She's going to have to wrestle with her actions, with her decisions. Her mother as well. She's 41. Celeste is 18. I'm not sure exactly how much time they are looking at if convicted. But I'm sure in the meantime, in between time, they'll have plenty of time and space to think about the crime that they've committed. So I'm not going to hold you. That's my take on the situation. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash like. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. So that's about the size of it. And this is your man online, Bill Money, signing off for Dirty Laundry Media. And remember, what doesn't come out in the wash always comes out in the rinse.